Hey, welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're going to look at some malicious compliance stories. Like and subscribe and let's get into it. Manager said, no phones during work hours, period. So I stopped answering his calls. I work IT support for a medium-sized company. We've always been allowed to have our phones at our desks. Sometimes family emergencies happen. Doctors call back, whatever. As long as we weren't scrolling social media all day. Nobody cared. New manager comes in last month, sees one person checking a text, and lose it. Sends out an email. Effective immediately. No personal phones during work hours. They must be left in your car or locker. This means 9 to 5, no exceptions. Anyone caught with a phone will be written up. Okay, sure, boss. The thing is, our manager works from home 3 days a week. And when server issues pop up after hours or on weekends, guess how he contacts us? That's right, our personal phones. We don't have company phones. Friday afternoon, 4:45 p.m. Major issues. I see it. Could fix it in 10 minutes, but my phone is in my car as per policy. I calmly finish my work at 5 o'clock and walk out. By the time I get to my car and check my phone at 5:15, I have 17 missed calls and a string of increasingly panicked texts from my manager. The server has been down for 30 minutes. Multiple departments can't do anything. I call him back. Hey, just got to my car and saw your calls. What's up? He's furious, mouthing and seething, asking why I didn't answer. I reminded him about the no phones policy. He says that's different. This was an emergency. I pointed out his email said, no exceptions, and I was just following policy to avoid a write-up. Monday morning, new email. Personal phones are permitted at desk for emergency purposes. Back to normal then. My manager told me to cut my hair, so I became bald. The industry I work in requires people to keep short hair. A month ago, my manager changed, and the new manager seems to want to prove that he is doing something. So he asked me to cut my hair short, which even the CEO was okay with, as I have been working with the company for a long time, and I would get regular haircuts as well. So I became bald. You should have seen the look on my manager's face. My teammates seemed to be keeping a social distance from me for some reason. The CEO hasn't talked to me since a month, even though we used to talk every second day. And I don't even have to attend daily meetings for some reason to LOL. I bet he won't tell anyone to cut their hair again. Okay then, I won't help. I'm sure lots of people have stories like this, and here's mine. I'm retired now after a long IT career. Like most such folks, I worked as a software developer for part of this time earlier in my career. For a time, I worked for an engineering firm that produced a lot of architectural drawings and blueprints as part of the design process. I was the dev lead and primary designer for a new system to track drawings as they moved through the development and review process. To get to the point, the new system was launched to mostly good success and heavy usage. As with all new systems, people had a learning curve. As it was not a huge company, most of the user community knew me. We also had a help desk, whose job theoretically included providing user support for this new tracking system. However, the company had ignored my repeated request to let them spend meaningful time with me to learn the system well. The user community quickly realized the help desk was useless, so they would call me directly. I was fine with this. I always found helping the user community my favorite part of my job. Word came down to me that I was to direct all such calls to the help desk. Frankly, I ignored this at first, but after a while it was made clear I could not. So I complied. That did not go well for the users. They basically got no help. Took only about 3 days for word to come back that I could help people again, and time was set aside for me to properly train the help desk folks. Boss looked like a fool, courtesy of me. I worked as a recruiter for a temp agency when I was young and fresh out of college. The manager of the agency was a total micromanager and wanted a say in absolutely everything. She micromanaged everyone so badly that she wanted to proofread any emails that any staff member was sending externally. She also wanted to be CC'd on every single outgoing external email. One day, one of my co-workers got a response back from an employer who gave some positive feedback about the email she wrote. Our manager made sure to reply all and take credit for the email, and explained she oversees all outgoing emails. A few days later, in a staff meeting, she made a point of saying she should get credit for any feedback the agency receives, since she proofreads everything. The thing is that this manager was not well-spoken and not even a particularly good writer. I regularly spotted issues with her sentence structure and use of commas, but just didn't say anything. One day she's proofreading one of my emails that would be going externally to an employer who pumped a lot of money into our agency. I was starting in the email that I thought so-and-so was a great fit for their vacant position based on so-and-so's past experience. Miss Manager comes to my desk and tells me the email looks good except it should read past experience. I told her that was incorrect, and she told me I was wrong, and she knows the difference between the two words. I wasn't in the mood to argue, so I wrote it as past experience and CC'd Miss Manager on the email. The employer writes me back and says, as an employer who hires people who to work on printed literature, they wanted to correct me and let me know it's actually past experience. That's where malicious compliance kicked in. I hit reply to all and thanked them for the feedback and explained my manager values all feedback, and since she proofreads all outgoing emails, she was the one who insisted on writing past experience. The next day she announced she no longer wanted to proofread outgoing external emails and didn't want to be CC'd on them any further. Malicious compliance put that witch in her place.